Good morning, everyone. What a day. What a day. My name's Dick Fain. This is Elise Woodward. We are your voices for a long time of the wonderful Seattle Storm, and we just wanted to kick off this historic day with a few of our own words. You know, there's a huge mural on the west wall of the Storm Center for Basketball Performance with a picture of Lauren Jackson and Swin Cash, who are both here today. And they're embracing Sue Bird as the clock went to zero in Atlanta on that wonderful September night in 2010, celebrating the Storm's second WNBA championship. And it has the words championship culture right below. The Storm have lived by that mantra for a quarter of a century, and it has manifested itself in 4 WNBA titles. No franchise boasts more. In order to have that championship culture, essential pieces need to be put in place, not only to achieve greatness, but to sustain it. An ownership that settles for nothing less than the best, an excellently run front office who can orchestrate the moves necessary to keep the roster at the highest level of competitiveness, and of course, a rabid fan base providing an unmatched home court advantage. But you also need a fire starter, a player that knew what it took to win championships before ever putting on a Seattle Storm jersey. One that was not only willing to foster a championship culture in Seattle, she demanded it. She expected nothing less than excellence out of herself, her teammates, and the entire organization. We've had many great athletes grace this building as well as the stadiums in SoDo. But when the question is asked, who is the greatest champion in Seattle sports history? There's one answer: Sue Bird. And when the question is asked, who is the most accomplished athlete in Seattle sports history, there is also only one answer: Sue Bird. It has been my absolute honor to be able to hitch a ride on this journey and call some of the most iconic moments in the history of this league, orchestrated by the best to ever do it. Congratulations, Sue, on a much-deserved honor, and thank you for allowing me just to be a small part of it.
I mean, this is amazing to look out and see these faces of all the great players and the coaches and everybody else. And first of all, who doesn't love Sue Bird? Right? I don't think I've ever met anybody, even opponents, that don't love and respect Sue Bird. So it's so cool and I think inevitable. We knew this day was going to come when the statue was going to be unveiled of Sue Bird, the legend. She has been the face of this franchise since being drafted back in 2002. For those that maybe we have new fans, this franchise was 2 years old when she was drafted #1 overall. And Sue Bird came and she was immediately the leader, the captain, the guiding light of this franchise. And I remember the first time she came, here's this East Coast kid coming all the way out here to Seattle. And she had that East Coast swagger, and you could just tell, even as a little baby bird, that she knew that she was going to be the greatest point guard that the WNBA has ever had. And what an honor it was for us. The longest career in the history of the WNBA and the highest level of success as a point guard throughout. I think you could still play right now. We're always hoping, maybe. But what an honor for 21 years to sit there. And I said, there were so many times as she broke the WNBA record for most assists. She has the most in the history. We had to pull out a thesaurus and be like, how many ways can we describe her phenomenal passes? Just a basketball savant, and she knew where her teammates were before they knew that they were even open. It was a joy to watch her. The foundation of this franchise, and she helped, of course, raise 4 banners up to the rafters. An amazing run for Sue and this franchise. Sue's story is not ours alone to tell, though. Countless lives were touched throughout her remarkable journey. Today, you'll hear from both teammates who shared the court with her, also officials on her civic impact, our Climate Pledge Arena family on Seattle Sports Unity, and her Storm teammates on leadership. And then we'll also unveil the permanent tribute before Sue herself takes the stage. Love seeing every coach here in Seattle Storm franchise history, other than Ann Donovan, RIP. But just, it's amazing to see all this out here for today. But right now, without further ado, on behalf of the Seattle Storm owners, Dawn Trudeau, please come take the stage.
A little shorter. Well, good morning, everyone. Today is a big deal. We're not just unveiling a statue, but we are making history. This is the first time a WNBA franchise has ever dedicated a statue to a player. That fact alone tells you just how monumental Sue Bird's impact has been, not only here in Seattle, but across the entire world of women's basketball. Before I speak about Sue, I want to begin by offering a few heartfelt thank yous. It may seem that this incredible statue just appeared overnight. The truth of it is that there has been an amazing group of volunteers working for over 2 years to get to this moment. It took a village to get here. Eric Pettigrew spearheaded turning his idea of building statues of Sue and Lenny into action. Brad Myers partnered with me in making Sue and Lenny's statue a reality. Michael Parham raised additional funding needed to complete the project. Climate Pledge's Haywan Teshom and Morgan Littlefield worked behind the scenes to navigate the complicated logistics and project management. To our state government, especially Senator Noel Frame and Representatives Julia Reed and Liz Berry, who championed funding to kick off the project. Also our thanks to former Governor Inslee. We have other state representatives here who also contributed support. Can I have all elected officials who are here stand so that we can appropriately thank you? To the WNBA for championing women's sports and continuing to push boundaries that should have been broken long ago. Thank you, Commissioner Engelbert. Mayor Harrell, you and your staff were there at the onset to lend your backing. Nike has been a huge supporter of Sue and swooshed in to help make this event even more special. Artist Julie Rotbach-Amrani and Rotbach-Amrani Studio did a superb job of capturing Sue's iconic look. To the Seattle Storm organization, especially Rory Titcomb, Chena Titcomb, and Will Gully, who made this statue installation a wonderfully fun and festive celebration of Sue and the Storm. And to all of Sue's teammates, coaches, family, and fans, the ones who have cheered for her, challenged her, and stood by her, thank you. This moment belongs to you too. Now I have the incredible honor, and let's be honest, the daunting task, of trying to capture the essence of Sue Bird in a few moments. Because today is about more than a statue. It's about a story. One of growth, of leadership, of courage, and of connection. This statue beside me represents excellence, but also evolution. I've had the privilege of watching Sue's journey from the very beginning, from a young, somewhat shy and reserved player to one of the most admired and authentic leaders in all of sports. That transformation wasn't always visible or flashy. It was steady, thoughtful, and deeply human. Sue didn't just grow into a superstar. She grew into someone who lifts others, who listens, who leads with empathy and purpose. Her willingness to invest herself in others with grace and humility is something rare and honestly epic. She arrived here in 2002, quiet but confident, with her head down and her game sharp. And over the next 2 decades, we watched her become not only the greatest point guard the WNBA has ever seen, I agree with you, Elise, but also the heartbeat of this franchise and city. That transformation was not loud or flashy. It was steady, thoughtful, and deeply human. Let me say, Sue never needed to be loud to lead. She could say more with one raised eyebrow and, "Really?" than most people can say with a full TED Talk. Sue didn't just grow into a superstar. She grew into someone who lifts others, who listens, who leads with empathy and purpose. Sue represents everything Seattle values: intelligence, resilience, humility, and authenticity. She didn't just win games, she built something lasting. She led with calm in the most chaotic moments. She was never the loudest voice in the room, but always the most trusted. And while she racked up stats and shattered records, she also built bridges between teammates, across generations of fans, and between the game and the broader world. She helped shape the identity of the Seattle Storm, not just as a team that wins, but as a team that stands for something. Through seasons of triumph and transition, Sue remained constant, steady, and unshakable. Sue Bird was the foundation on which the Seattle Storm built 2 decades of success. From the moment she was drafted first overall in 2002, she became the team's on-court architect, orchestrating the offense with unmatched vision and composure, each with a different supporting cast, proof of her ability to adapt and elevate those around her. Whether hitting a clutch 3 or threading a perfect pass, she set the competitive tone that defined the Storm's style of play. Her loyalty to the franchise created a sense of stability that allowed the Storm to flourish. Through coaching changes, roster overhauls, and even an ownership transition, Sue remained the constant, the player fans and teammates trusted most. She bridged generations, mentoring rising stars like Jewel Lloyd and Breanna Stewart, while preserving the winning culture built alongside Lauren Jackson in the early years. For 2 decades, any vision of the Storm's future started with her presence at point guard. Off the court, Sue's connection to Seattle cemented the Storm as more than just a team. It became a community institution. Her commitment to fan engagement, advocacy for equality, and visible pride in representing the city deepened the bond between the Storm and our supporters. Sue wasn't just the face of the Storm. She was its foundation, compass, and heartbeat for more than 20 years. Her loyalty, leadership, and love for Seattle turned the Storm into more than a basketball team. She helped make it a family and a source of pride for an entire city. Sue's legacy isn't just in the banners hanging from the rafters, but in the culture she built, the players she inspired, and the bond she forged between the team and its fans. She will forever be the soul of the Storm. What she's meant to Seattle can't be measured in titles alone, though we're grateful for every single one. It is in the way she's carried herself and how she's shown up, not just in the spotlight, but in the quiet moments that never make headlines. It is in how she mentored younger players, advocated for justice, and stayed true to herself every step of the way. Sue's shown us that greatness isn't just about performance, it's about presence. She didn't just play in Seattle, she grew with Seattle. And now with this statue, her presence will remain, reminding all of us who we are and what we can become. To Sue, thank you from my partners, Ginny Gilder, Lisa Brummel, and myself, for the game, for the growth, for the quiet strength, and for reminding us that leadership can be powerful, purposeful, and deeply personal. Seattle will never forget you, and now thanks to this statue, we will add a needed female icon to our city's art collection. With this statue, you'll never leave us. Congratulations, Sue. We love you. Thank you.
And I will just say on behalf of the ownership, or to the ownership group, we wouldn't have this moment today without them pouring their love and their resources into building women's basketball in Seattle. Eternally grateful for you guys. This is all about you guys as well, so thank you. Sue Bird just didn't represent Seattle on the basketball court. She was one of our city's greatest ambassadors, and please join me in welcoming Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell.
I heard someone say something about the Sonics. I'm not mentioning the Sonics in this speech. It's all about Sue. I'm going to, before I read a proclamation from the city of Seattle, I'm going to invite my colleagues, my friends, my elected leaders, King County Council President Gurmai Zalahai to come on up, and State Representative Julia Reed to come up as well. We're going to triple team this, but I have to say a few words, Sue. Dawn said this is sort of a big deal. It sort of reminds me of the Ron Burgundy joke where he said, how do you not walk into a restaurant now and say, you know, I'm sort of a big deal here in Seattle? How can you not do that after all of this? My 2 granddaughters are here, and you should know how much you've inspired all of these young folks in terms of your excellence, your commitment. Sort of interesting that when we see someone of your caliber in this city, at least I do, I think some people try to see, well, what do we have in common with you? We look at your path, and if you could do it, maybe someone else could do it. Well, I found out that I was born 6 days before you. 6 days before you. We are born under the astrological sign of Libra. Okay, a few years and 6 days, but we're both Libras. We both play for the Huskies. And my cousin Eric Pettigrew is here, and I'm gonna, you know, he was quite an athlete himself. He played for Oregon State, and I asked him, I said, let me see if this gets a laugh or an applause. Go Beavers! Told you it was going to be flat. In all seriousness, Sue, you're surrounded by greatness as well, but the records that you brought here, the love that you brought here, the pride that you brought here is just unprecedented, I would say. And so let me read a few lines and hum a few bars from our proclamation, and then my colleagues will read proclamations that they have. I won't read all of your statistics because there's a game to play this afternoon. But when Suzanne Bridget Bird, who is known affectionately as Sue Bird, I'm in the proclamation now, is a legendary basketball figure and one of the most respected individuals in professional sports, having been a cornerstone point guard for Seattle Storm. I'm going to get down to the meat because some of this I didn't even know, quite honestly. Her career includes 5 Olympic gold medals, 4 FIBA World Cup gold medals, 2 NCAA championships, making her one of only 11 women to achieve the rare feat of winning all 4 major titles in women's basketball. 13 times as a WNBA All-Star, earned all WNBA first and second team honors, led the league in assists 3 times, and won the Peak Performer Award twice, establishing herself as one of the most decorated players in league history. But beyond that, just beyond the shots, beyond the no-look passes, that's not in here, I just thought I'd have fun with that part. A passionate advocate for social justice and inclusion, championing LGBTQ+ rights, serving as vice president of the WNBA Players Union and leading initiatives to promote equity and opportunity in Seattle across the country when we need it the most. That's how we get down here in Seattle. This is the first of a first. And right now, my grandkids said they saw your flag. See, that's how we tell the world how we love people here in Seattle. That's a symbol for everyone to see. So I, therefore, Bruce Harrell, Mayor of Seattle, do hereby proclaim August 17th, 2025 to be Sue Bird Day. And take it away.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Sue Bird Day. I'm Representative Julia Reed from the 36th Legislative District, the only all-female legislative district in the city of Seattle. And I'm so proud to be here with my sisters in arms, Representative Liz Berry and Senator Noel Frame. The 36th district where you're standing right now is a place where women lead. And that's why when we asked Governor Ferguson if he wouldn't mind letting us give the proclamation today. So he was very gracious. That's what we're going to do. And it's just such an honor. I will say they've been talking about the mural on the outside of the Storm Performance Center. I had the great privilege to take a tour inside, and there's a mural at the basketball court with an outline of Climate Pledge Arena on it, and at the very top is a tiny little bird. So it's wonderful to know, Sue, that you'll always be watching over us here in the district. And without further ado, from the state of Washington, whereas the state of Washington has a rich history of producing exceptional athletes, and Sue Bird stands out as a true testament to dedication, talent, and profound community impact. And whereas Sue has not only excelled on the basketball court, achieving the remarkable feat of being the all-time WNBA leader in career assists, but has also utilized her platform to uplift and inspire communities throughout Washington. And whereas Sue has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to advocating for equality, inclusion, and social justice, using her voice to advance important causes that resonate deeply with the residents of Washington. And there's only a few more whereases, so stay with me. Whereas, through her leadership and mentorship, Sue has bridged multiple eras in Seattle Storm history, guiding younger players such as Jewel Lloyd and Brianna Stewart, thereby ensuring the continued growth and success of women's basketball. And whereas Sue led the Seattle Storm to 4 WNBA championships, the most by any Washington State franchise. Any Washington State franchise. Solidifying her legacy as a champion and leader. And whereas Sue's legacy extends far beyond the realm of sports, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of the residents of Washington. Now, therefore, I, Representative Julie Reed, on behalf of Bob Ferguson, Governor of the State of Washington, do hereby proclaim August 17th, 2025 as Washington State Sue Bird Day. This is a day of days. When you're triple proclaimed in the state, that really makes it permanent in law. And I urge all people in our state to follow her example of the positive change that can be achieved through unwavering commitment and community engagement. And this is signed by Governor Bob Ferguson, but on behalf of us here in the 36th and all the people of the state of Washington, Sue, we love you. Congratulations. We're so excited and honored to be here. And I'm going to hand it off to my wonderful colleague and friend, Gurmai Zahalai, and the very important Jazzy Zahalai, who are both going to read this proclamation.
Today, we are here to watch a bird evolve into a goat. Sue Bird, the greatest of all-time leader in assists, all-time leader in minutes played, that's longevity. 4-time WNBA champion, brought 4 of them things to our city. Across 3 different decades, the only player in history to achieve that feat. The only thing that matches her impact on the court is her impact off the court, as many people have said. She has improved the lives of thousands of people in our city and in our region. And today I'm proud to bring my baby daughter up to the stage because I want her to know when she looks back on this that she was part of history. And when she looks forward, I want her to know that anything is possible in her life. That's what Sue represents. That's what this statue is going to represent. So I'll read a few lines from our recognition on behalf of King County, whereas Sue Bird embodies the spirit of public service and inspires others, exactly, Jazzy, to make a positive difference, reflecting the values of fairness, equality, and compassion that reflect the values of Dr. King, after whom our country is named, our county is named. And whereas we encourage all residents to acknowledge and celebrate the achievements of athletes like Sue Bird, who leverage their platforms to build a more just and equitable society for all. Now, therefore, I, King County Council Chair Gurmai Zahalai, recognize this day as Sue Bird Day in King County. Congratulations to Sue, to all of the Storm staff and team members, and all the fans out there who made this day possible. Thank you all so much. This is for you.
Thank you, Executive and Jazzy. Thank you, Representative Reed. Thank you, Mayor Harrell. You know, one of the beautiful things about Sue's legacy is how she brought our entire sports community together. To speak about collaboration and the Seattle sports family, please welcome Sam Holloway, owner of the Seattle Kraken and part owner of Climate Pledge Arena.
Good morning. I'm honored to be part of this special day, honoring and celebrating a true Seattle sports legend and someone I'm proud to call a friend. This arena has a rich history, as we all know. Sue was a star under this roof, both before and after its transformation. She brought hope to aspiring athletes, particularly female athletes, and continues to do so in the next phase of her career. To have a daily reminder of her impact, visible every time we enter this arena, is a truly special honor for those of us with Climate Pledge Arena and with the Seattle Kraken. Sue will always be part of our story as a player, a leader, a community icon, and now an owner. I know firsthand how incredible and important the Seattle sports community is. We're unlike any other. We're pulling for each other, helping each other, rooting for our collective success. And the Storm is a force in this city. From the day I moved here 3 years ago, the organization embraced my move and my role and have been great partners to the Kraken, and we are true supporters of the Storm. It's the kind of organization that Sue helped to build and that Sue brought great success to, one that reflects the values of our city. I believe that sports is one of the few places we can still all come together, united by a common goal, to have fun, to watch great teams and great players, to cheer and to celebrate together. Sue was and is worth cheering for, on and now off the court. On behalf of Climate Pledge Arena and the Seattle Kraken, congratulations to the Storm, but most importantly, congratulations to Sue.
Thank you very much, Sam. And it's time now to introduce somebody who not only won champions with her in college at Connecticut, but also won a championship with her right here in Seattle, the All-Star Swin Cash.
Sounds like we got some Storm crazies in the house over here. Throwback, a little throwback. Y'all gonna have to bear with me a little bit. I obviously didn't check the weather, so I'm up here sweating a little bit. Little things going on. And unlike Lauren, I didn't print out my speech, so it's on my phone with a screen protector, so your girl's just not prepared. But we're gonna make it through, all right? All right, so it is an honor for me to be here today and to stand in front of this arena in the heart of Seattle and witness something that has never happened before in our league. The unveiling of a statue honoring our friend, our sister, and one of the greats to ever play this game in Sue Bird. So before I get started into the speech, I first have to thank Lisa Brummel. You're the reason why I'm here today. And I got to tell this story because it's so indicative of who Sue is. So back in February, I was at an NBA game, and Lisa was there, and she said, hey, make sure you're there. We're doing a statue unveil for Sue, da-da-da-da. And we were talking, and I was like, oh, that sounds great. Just talk to Sue, heard nothing about it. But that's who Sue is. If you know Sue, she's not going to always tell you there's great things happening, and if you can show up, great, but there's never any pressure. It's always about hey, this is happening. If you're there, okay, cool. If not, I totally understand. You have family, you have this, you have that. I wanted you to know I'm happy to be here today because this is special. And years from now, when we're old and we have the kids, hint, hint, you caught what I was throwing out there? Okay. We'll be able to talk. we'll be able to talk about this. This is major, Birdie. And so I'm really, really happy to be here. So I want to be fast because I know we want to get to the statue. So last night, I came in with a speech, and we were having a conversation about greatness. And I went back, I'm not going to say what time, it was very late, and I did everything over. Because you sparked something, Sue, when we start talking about the greats to play the game. And so, in a circle of friends, as we're talking about greatness, you think about what defines greatness. Is greatness in the eyes of the beholder? Is it in the body of work, the influence, the impact, and yes, the winning that you leave behind? But when I think about Sue, she answers all of it. Every single thing, she answers all of it. Greatness is not just in the numbers for me, though she has plenty of those. It's not just in banners and trophies and gold medals, though she has more than enough of those too. Greatness is in the way you change the air in the room, the way you change the air in the arena, the way you change the air in the community. It's in the way you lift your teammates, you inspire a city, you show young girls and young boys what's possible when excellence meets longevity, when leadership meets humility. For the city of Seattle, Sue is not just a player, she's family. Right, y'all? As this was told to me by the lady in Nordstrom's yesterday. She's been a constant through championships, through change, through growing pains of the WNBA. Dee, we know all about that. Asia, everybody, we know about the growing pains. But the rise of women's sports on the global stage, you have been there every step of the way for decades with this game, Sue. She didn't just play for the Storm, she became the heartbeat of this community. And what's so powerful about today is that this statue isn't only for Sue. It's for every little girl who dribbled a ball in her driveway and wondering if anyone would ever see her. It's for future generations who will walk around this arena right here, look up, and know that greatness looks like them. But Birdie, it's also for the past players, the pioneers, who fought with less spotlight and fewer resources, but whose shoulders you, me, Dee, Lang, Asia, Sveti, every single player, Lauren, that's in here today, this statue represents so much more. So today, we get to give you your flowers because you're permanently etched in bronze. So yes, this is a celebration for Sue Bird, but it's also a celebration of all women in this game that you continue to show that they can show up, they can show out on the court, they can have careers, they can become owners, they can do all the things. This statue represents more than what you did. It represents what the future still holds. So, I know you guys wanted me to get up here and share some stories, and boy, do I have a lot of those. You know, I might jump on a pod one day and talk about it a little bit, if she lets me. But I needed to say this about today because when you talk about greatness, people get caught up in the numbers, they get caught up in how your skills can be, and we can have that basketball conversation. But greatness changes the game. Greatness evolves. Greatness stays and has longevity, and that's what Sue has. So in closing for me, Seattle, today, don't just unveil a statue. Reveal a standard, a reminder that greatness, when lived fully, becomes timeless. Thank you to the owners of the Seattle Storm, to all the officials, everyone that made this day possible, because we're unveiling Sue Bird today, but it's a hope for the next generation. So thank you.
Thank you, Swin. Now we'll hear from someone who knows Sue's leadership firsthand, someone who shared the court, the victories, and the journey with her. Please welcome Storm legend, Lauren Jackson.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. What a historic day this is, and what an incredible privilege it is to be able to speak about you again. As I said last time, I avoid public speaking at all costs, but I have to say yes when it comes to you, and it just kills me. But I'm here and I'm doing it, so head's in the paper and I'm going for it. Okay, as someone who has admired Sue as a friend, a teammate, as the ultimate competitor, and as a compassionate leader, I'm honoured to stand here beside her statue. This beautiful bronze tribute, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm very excited to see, to a game changer, not just in Seattle, but in basketball and sport globally. Sue, you forged a 21-season professional career entirely in Seattle. You led the Storm to 4 WNBA championships, earned 13 All-Star selections, and still hold the assist record. You spent nearly 2 full decades literally writing the story of this franchise and this city. But beyond the stats, you've helped redefine what it means to lead with humility, integrity, and vision. You've woven your legacy into the very fabric of Seattle and the global basketball community, one that now includes a statue, a first in WNBA history. I remember you on the court as both a teammate and a competitor, always competitive, always composed, always making everyone around you better. Whether in Seattle, representing Team USA, you delivered excellence. 5 Olympic gold medals, 4 world titles, against us a lot of the time, which was just heartbreaking, but you set a leadership standard that changed norms, expanded opportunities for women and girls everywhere, and you're incredible. But you've truly set the standard on and off the court. Your grace and your humility, which everyone's talked about, continue to inspire generations. And this statue is certainly a testament to the commitment and dedication you consistently show up with for the teams you represent, for this organisation, for your family and your friends, and for the greater good. You make this world a better place, and you fight for it, and that's incredible. It's only right that you're immortalised, because your legacy extends far beyond the court. You're a true inspiration to me, to everyone here. And yeah, we're just so proud of you. So thank you for everything, and I love you. Yay.
Thank you, LJ. 20 years of excellence, 4 championships, 5 Olympic gold medals, countless memories, and now a permanent place in Seattle history. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. Are you guys ready to unveil this thing?
All right, for the guests seated, we ask you please remain seated until we unveil it. And now let's bring her up, the one and only Sue Bird. Give it up for Sue Bird. Let's get you in the middle.
You're in the middle.
I said that Sue Bird's the smartest player that I've ever seen play the game, and so I think you can help us count from 10 down. All right, shall we? Everybody with us now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that looks so great. Congratulations. It's so well deserved. Love it so much. I love it. You better go get, you better, yeah. Get it.
What do we think? I can't see the face. Are we good? Nose is straight? Amazing. Man, it's crazy to see it bronzed. Got the Hirachi 2Ks on. Okay, I'll get to my speech. God, this is incredible. yeah, I feel really lucky that I've been able to stand in front of you and you know, share my memories and with jersey retirements and big games and final games. This does feel different. This does feel different. So I'll start by saying that. And I do want to say also that none of this gets done without so much help, so much vision. So thank you to Todd Leiweke, Sam Holloway, Haywan Tashomi, and Morgan Littlefield, to Eric Pettigrew and Brad Myers, Mayor Harrell, former Governor Inslee, current Governor Ferguson, the City Council. Love you guys for this. And of course, my Storm family, everyone in the front office, everyone who works for the Storm, past, present, current, but of course the ownership group, Lisa Brummel, Jenny Gilder, Dawn Trudeau, Alicia Valvanis, president. Special shout out to you, Dawn. You were with me step by step. There you are. Garrett's Popcorn, we'll always have that. To Nike, who literally never misses when it comes to making an important day even more special. That curtain, the whole presentation, and really all the support they've given me my whole career. A very, very special thank you to the Roblat Amory Studio for bringing this all to life. Julie, Itamar, Omni, Karen, and the entire team. This process was interesting and really fun, and it was so incredible every time I went to the studio to walk in. And I mean, it was weird to see yourself in clay form, but it was like with every little tweak, it just became more and more me until finally I was underneath it and I was like, oh, that's my nose. And I was like, oh, that's definitely my hair. So I did want to start by just telling you guys why I chose this pose, because you do get to choose. I was thinking pull-up jump shot, you know, passing, what do I want? But some fun little fact about my career that maybe some of you know, maybe not. My very first points in the WNBA at Key Arena as a rookie were on a layup. My very final points in the WNBA were at Climate Pledge on a layup. Not really known for those. Not really known for those layups, but it's actually something that means a lot to me. So this feels very full circle. Plus, I knew Lenny was going to be playmaking off the dribble. We needed someone to, you know, give that assist. Someone had to finish it off. Congratulations to Lenny Wilkins as well. I really want to move this. Okay. 23 years ago, I stepped off a plane in Seattle as a 21-year-old kid from New York, fresh out of college, wondering what my life was going to be like. The WNBA had just finished its 5th season, the Storm just its 2nd, and the Pacific Northwest couldn't have been further from all that I knew. Today, I'm standing here looking at a statue of myself, and honestly, that 21-year-old would never have believed this moment was possible or that Seattle would become everything she didn't know she needed. This statue, it's not just an honor, it's history. Honestly, Swin, I couldn't have said it better. First of all, it's so amazing to see all my former teammates, friends, former coaches, to have you guys travel out here. It is true, I don't tell anybody anything ever, not even my mom. I like win stuff and they get so mad at me because they read it in the newspaper. But to have you guys here, I hope you know how much it means to me. But this statue goes well beyond just myself. Like I said, it's not just an honor, it's history. I'm the first player to ever have a statue built. And that fact both humbles me and fills me with pride, not just for me, but for what this represents for women's basketball, for every young girl who will walk past this statue and think that maybe it could be her someday, and every young boy who's going to do the same thing. That means a lot. People keep asking me what it feels like to be the first, and the truth is I never set out to be the first at anything, but if being the first means that I won't be the last, if this statue means that 20 years from now, there'll be statues of other WNBA greats, some are in this audience, and players whose names we don't even know yet, then I'm proud to be the first. But this statue doesn't just belong to me, it belongs to Seattle. It belongs to every fan who believed in women's basketball when the rest of the world wasn't paying attention. It belongs to every teammate who trusted my passes, every coach who had the belief to put the ball in my hands at the end of games, and every person who made Climate Pledge Arena and Key Arena before it feel like home for over 2 decades. To the Storm fans, the Storm crazies, Swin gave you that name. Do you even know that? Swin gave you guys the Storm crazies. You're the most loyal fan base in sports. You showed up, again, when women's basketball needed champions. You filled arenas. You wore our jerseys with pride. And you made Seattle the gold standard for supporting women's sports. You also have some serious influence. It's like you chant one more year, I come back. You demand a statue, I get one. This literally exists because you believed it should. To the Storm organization, again, the ownership group that I'm now honored to be a part of. You didn't just draft a player in 2002, you invested in a dream, and you never stopped believing in what we could build together. You gave me more than a job. You gave me an identity, a purpose, and a platform to be exactly who I was meant to be. And to this incredible, incredible city that embraced me from day one, a point guard from Long Island, made her feel like she'd been here her whole life. Thank you for 21 of the most incredible years. Seattle, you taught me that home isn't just where you're from, it's where you choose to build something meaningful, and we built something so special here. This legacy is now bronze. This is what this means to me. It means no one can rewrite the story or diminish what women's basketball means to this city. This statue will stand here long after we're gone, and I hope it tells a simple story, that greatness isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent, that you can be true to yourself and still achieve extraordinary things, and then when a city believes in you, anything is possible. And to every young player, again, who will walk past this statue, your dreams are valid, even when other people don't understand them. And remember, the best careers aren't measured just by what you achieve, but by who you become along the way. I came to Seattle as Sue Bird, the basketball player. I'm leaving as Sue Bird, the Seattleite. And this statue will make sure that a piece of me stays in this city forever, just like the city will always be a part of me. And when you inevitably see a little bird poop on my shoulder, don't worry about it. Just consider it family checking in and reminding me where home is. Thank you, Seattle, for everything. Thank you.